to this news from The Matrix 10. What? Out of nowhere. The new costume. What? And the TARDIS.
And the TARDIS, yeah. Well, the outside of the TARDIS. No longer is it a publicity image from the 2005.
God, yeah, that was cringy. That was so cringy. I am loving this poster, though, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's got nice lighting and all that.
So yeah, I guess we'll talk about the costume first. Digging it, yeah. One thing we've never had is dungarees. We've always had braces, but not dungarees. But I like the long coat. Just long coats with the Doctor always kind of work.
I mean, it's odd, but I get that's kind of the point. And I think, we'll go into this also with the TARDIS, but it very much takes on a very 70s, 80s kind of feel to it, which I kind of like. Maybe, I kind of hoping that they kind of bring this into the series and make it kind of more like it was in that kind of era, which I would be down for. I'd be very much down for that if that was the route that they were ultimately going. But yeah, no, they kind of go for a kind of 70s, 80s kind of feel to the costume to it. It's kind of bizarre. So the dungarees, it's something not seen the Doctor before.
It's not full on dungarees. It's braces still, annoyingly. But you know what it reminds me of? It makes me think she's a geography teacher taking kids on a geography trip. It's something I'd see a geography teacher wearing.
Yeah,
but I'm digging the coat. I love the long coat look on Doctors. I know it's just kind of like a bit lab coat, but like that. I think maybe that's what's to do with it. But the brown coat,
not really. It's not really a lab coat, I'd say.
No, I'm not saying it's a lab coat, but I mean like Doctors wear lab coats, so it's kind of like I know it's heroic as they run. It looks good when they're running away or running to. Or it just looks good, the long coat. And we haven't had a coat for two years. Well, 2 Doctors now.
Well, Matt Smith kind of had one up there.
He had a bit of tailcoats, but this is a proper.
And it's actually so did Capaldi in fairness. So.
They've had they've had the tailcoats, but not the full on down past the knees. Look.
Well, even compared to Tennant's, this is like.
I quite like the little rainbow effects across. So they've got the rainbow kind of down the sides of the coat and then across the chest, which is quite good. I quite like how it's kind of gender neutral as well. They didn't just go, oh, because she's a girl, let's make it super girly. Though I'd be interested if they do a historical and the Doctor dresses up like he does sometimes. Well, she does. God damn it, this is going to be so confusing.
Yeah.
Pronouns, god damn it. That's the thing I dislike more, just having to change the pronouns now. Like, do we say he or do we just say it now? But it doesn't sound right. It sounds rude. I know the Doctor dresses up sometimes. Let's just use them now. Forget those pronouns. Who needs them?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Unless again they go with kind of the 70s, 80s thing where it just doesn't bother.
Yeah. So
if they could.
Yeah, I quite like that. But yeah, I like how they're going a bit more out there with it. I dig it.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of... So, for like the past few Doctors, they kind of went with something a bit more 60s, both in terms of the TARDIS and kind of, to some extent, what the Doctor's wearing, although Peter Capaldi very much kind of dabbled in kind of modern stuff.
Yeah, with the weird hoodie, I still don't really dig the hoodie.
It does kind of feel like they're kind of slowly going down the eras in terms of what they're kind of appealing to. I think it's because, of course, this is probably like Chris Chibnall's like era, like
he wants his own unique part,
like kind of being like the 70s and 80s. But no, I kind of thought that this is a hark back to that because that's kind of what. Well, it is his own take, kind of a hark back to that because that was kind of what he was inspired by, and I don't really want them changing the costume too much. I preferred it like in Tennant. He'd either have a blue suit or it would be the brown suit. One of those two. I didn't really like Matt Smith changed that was alright, but Capaldi's just been all over the place with the hoodie and then the kind of Patrick Troughton trousers and like what happened to the Series 8 costume that he had, where it was Rebel Time Lord. It kind of disappeared. It became more like Yobbo Time Lord. Yeah, I guess so.
I did like the velvet look though, the one from Heaven Sent. That was a very nice costume actually, the red velvet. But then it should have been that one and the other one, those two, and not the weird hoodie thing. He had some decent ones in Series 10 as well. He had like the black and white kind of velvet, but they should have stuck with that and not have the hoodie. I feel the hoodie really ruined it actually at some points. I didn't like the hoodie. But yeah,
I didn't really notice that much. But
for the TARDIS design, it's very interesting. So now they've got a black plaque with white writing on it. No St. Thomas ambulance.
Yeah, no, this is, again, going back to the harking back, this is pretty much almost exactly like kind of an early 70s kind of TARDIS.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at it, like, the smaller kind of logo design, the black plaque was all there kind of in the early 70s design. Only difference is that they made the lettering more clear, because in, like, some of those, like, early 70s ones, you can barely, like, read it. Like, it's completely, like, dimmed. So, the design they're kind of going for is kind of a refined look at that, like, kind of early 70s, like, John Pertwee, Tom Baker, early kind of look to the TARDIS. And I can dig that, actually, I very much approve of kind of trying this design out again, because it does still kind of look quite, I mean, of course, they don't never look too different, but it's striking enough. Like, I approve of this.
Yeah. I think that's basically it, really. I'm interested to see what the inside looks like.
Maybe they'll go on full-on retro for that as well. Who knows?
I kind of hope they do. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, who knows at this point? It could be anything, really.
So comment below, what do you think of the new costume and the new exterior of TARDIS? Are you still someone who's saying they're not going to watch the new series yet you're watching Doctor Who news on the new series? Are you one of them?
Well, I mean, in fairness, for that kind of thing, I think would be more just kind of vague interest as opposed to
Come on, if you're still looking, I'm still interested.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I've not in terms of Doctor Who, but for other things, I kind of like.
Sometimes
if I stop caring about something, but I'm kind of interested to see what's happening with it, or if there's like a big news piece.
If you're doing that, you want to give it a chance, really, deep down.
Not necessarily. It depends. But I think I do think it is worthwhile giving it a chance. But I wouldn't say that's necessarily always the case. I'm just pointing out.
Just the production standard of the poster alone is getting me excited. Oh, it looks so nice. It's beautiful.
It is.
Yeah. Cool. So thank you very much for listening to this news from a Matrix 10. The batch is on the way. Woo! Reviews coming your way soon. So,
we hope.
Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Bye.